If you could change any choice you have ever made, would you? You can always make another choice and change the course of your success. Everyone has the potency to make inspired choices. Get ready to listen, share, and experience the creativity that is you. Now, here is the host of the Inspired Choices Show, business optimization expert, Christine McIver.
Yes, it's me. It's Christine McIver here with another episode on Inspired Choices. So how's everybody doing out there? What's going on in your world? If you're listening live or you're listening in the replay, just to let you know, today is July the 19th, 2023. And it's just so funny how I come up with these titles of these shows weeks and sometimes months in advance. And it's very funny how sometimes they're so incredibly fitting for what's going on in this week or in that certain week. And this week certainly did not fall short. It did not disappoint at all. It's quite interesting. So today's show is running from adversity or allowing it to empower you. And, I was just speaking with my producer, Sarah, and said, well, there it is again. There's the universe playing out the show. So I have something really to share with everybody. It happens more often than not that the real life, the reality plays out so that I can share this on the network. And here, I always think I have enough previous content, but no, the universe never fails. So thanks, universe. Really, really appreciate it. So my question to you is, how's your week been? This has been a full moon week. There's a lot of energies happening and a lot of people are really, I'll just say on tilt, like on tilt. And it can certainly really impact you and really, kind of land you on your butt. And totally speaks to tonight's show. So we will get on tilt. That's perfect. Sarah says, yep, we definitely are on tilt. So let me tell you a little bit about myself before we jump into tonight's show. I am a business optimization expert. So what the heck is that? So I work with businesses, business owners in particular, whether they're solopreneurs or they have a team. I work with them to really look at what's going on in their business, look for the gaps of what's missing that can contribute to what would lead them to the successes that they desire, and really learn to optimize on the amazing content that they have between their ears. Each and every one of you who is in your own business and maybe thinking about being in your own business, there's something that and you've probably got a passion in your heart to share with the world. Well, you know more than you think you know. The gold that's between your ears is what the world is looking for. And so when I'm working with a business owner, when I'm working with an entrepreneur, I'm really assisting them to bring all of that forward and then teaching them how to bring that out to the world in the various ways that we can to really increase visibility and to plan out 6 to 12 months in their business so that they're not scrambling at the last minute over and over again. If you were on my show last week, you would have heard me speak about does my business need to be rescued? And I came up with, I can't even remember how many different questions to ask yourself that may bring you to the actual answer of whether your business needs to be rescued. But when we are looking at our business and we're looking at what is going on in our business, what's missing, this list really helps you to see, hey, you know what, maybe some help, maybe some rescue. And it was a fun show, and I've come up with this list and I'm going to be posting it and sharing it. And what I also came up with, because this past Monday was my birthday. And so I've come up with a special that's in place until the end of December, all around working with your business and bringing to the table what I know that can really contribute to you having more pleasure and more ease in your business, because I know that business can be pleasurable. And yet some days you really wonder. So do reach out to me, Christine at inspiredchoices.ca. Let's have a conversation. The first session together is a bonus. That's a value of $500. There's no cost for that first session. And then we will jump into the entire package. So let me know if that's something that is intriguing for you and it's something that you know would really contribute to your business. I would love to hear from you. Okay, so again, tonight's show is are running from adversity or allowing it to empower you. So adversity is a state of serious or continued difficulty or misfortune. Hands up. Who can absolutely say that they feel like they have experienced that maybe more than once or right now, that that's happening right now with you? What if adversity could empower you, though? What if adversity could be a contribution, could inspire you and drive you forward into a place beyond those difficulties? Your desire to move forward requires strong conviction and creativity. Most of all, it requires committed choice. And oh my God, somebody's saying, I'm drowning in it today. Other people are like, yep, I am sorry for anybody else that's out there that's drowning in it. I have had a day. I'm telling you, it's been a week and it's just like, oh my God. So just to give you a little bit of background, sometimes I have an entire team, and sometimes there are weeks where I'm over here creating and the team is creating and we're all just doing our thing and we're coming together when we need to come together. But I am very much in a lot of flow and a lot of creativity where there's not a lot of challenges. But the last couple of weeks, we've been doing some shifting within the business and really moving things into a really fun direction. But there has been a lot of challenges. Now, I'm a person that loves computers. I love learning about new technologies. I love playing on computers all the time. But I'll tell you something. I have been on this computer day and night for nearly 2 weeks. And today was one of those days that I could have just picked the computer up and throw it out the window. Nothing bad, just frustrating. Just exhausting. And I actually thought to myself, like, what the hell am I doing? This is not fun. And I heard myself saying that. So what did I do? I took a break. I went for a walk. I cut some of my lawn. Just doing something different sometimes can help you just kind of get out of the energy of that frustration. I took a break. I had a nice dinner and I just relaxed for a little while to just try to come down from that intensity. So that's one of the very first things that you want to pay attention to is when you feel like you're in that overload of intensity, that overload of difficulties, you need to physically take yourself away from it. You really, really do. Walk away from the computer. Do not bust the computer. They're too expensive, right? Whatever it is, if it's your children. I remember this a long time ago. My sister-in-law and my brother lived across the street from us growing up, and they had a mobile home, and she had a 1.5-year-old, 2-year-old, and an infant. And this one night in particular, they were both screaming like crazy. She was there by herself. My brother wasn't there. And so she told me this after what she did. I'm like, how did you deal with that? I was quite young at the time. How did you deal with that? And she said, I went outside and I walked the length of the field and then I came back. And I was flabbergasted. I'm like, how could you leave these children? She goes, they were safe. They were safe. They were in their cribs. They were safe. And, lots of people probably have opinions about that. You can save them. But the fact of the matter was, she knew that she needed to take herself out of the intensity so that she could regroup and come back. So ask yourself, what is your autoresponder when you are in difficulty? What do you do? Do you turn up the intensity? Do you get angry? Do you allow your emotions to drive you? Do you allow your emotions to come up and leave? Because I am someone that says, okay, go pound some pillows, go scream, go, break something in half, maybe go rip some of those little popping things, do something physical that's going to help to shift the energy. Or are you someone that just gets so determined and so angry that you are not going to let it beat you? So here's the thing. Determination is absolutely required when you're in adversity. But when you are taking your determination and you're doing push energy with your determination, it's going to backfire. It's going to backfire. Think of yourself as the actual the project that you're working on. If someone was pushing on you, you would energetically push back. Well, anything that you're judging that you are pushing against, that energy is going to match your energy. It's going to come back and match it, right? Everything is energy, my friends, whether we're talking personal or business or whatever we're talking about. So when it comes to business, if you are in this commitment energy, but you are pushing like, oh, I'm so angry, and you just keep pushing, that whatever is going on is going to be matched, and it's going to come back on you, and it's going to bite really, really hard. Not to mention that when we are in this real intense energy, it's like the walls start to come in on us and we are tunnel focused. But in addition to being tunnel focused, everything starts to contract. And I've said this many, many times. When you are in a contraction energy, it's like the horse with the blinders on, right? And you can't see some of the other options that are available to you. You can't see some of the other things that are trying to come in to support you, right? Your focus is on, damn it, this is pissing me off and I am not putting up with it, right? So I want you to look at that. I want you to think about that. When you've been in adversity, what have you actually done? So we got a lot of comments in the chat room. I just want to catch up with them. Karen says, I have so much energy and buzzing all over the place this week. Elizabeth says, it's been the Monday-ist Wednesday in a while. Mickey says, my day has been beyond rough. I just don't have it today. It's been a January of Mondays. Oh, I've never heard that expression before. You know what, guys? I'm so glad you're here, and I'm so glad that you're willing to bring this to the table, because together we can start to change this. Karen says, I'm a step back person and regroup person. And that's fantastic. Oh, that's amazing. Elizabeth says, I'm a circle the wagon person, but I'm trying to get better. Okay, so let's not circle the wagons. Let's not go into January Mondays. Let's all just be present. And what I really want you to do is I want you to drop all of these energies that are intense. Just allow them to drop down to your feet, just like a shower curtain dropping. Just allow it to drop. Okay, take a nice deep breath. Don't let it take a hold of you anymore. And now I want you to expand your energy out as far and beyond that you can possibly imagine. All beyond, out into the atmosphere, out into the planets. Just expand. Take a nice breath, okay? When we can get some space around the adversity, that's where we can start to really reevaluate and make some new choices. So we are up for our first break of the show. When we come back, we're going to continue to talk about adversity and how you can actually use it to your advantage. Okay, we're going to be talking about tools. We're going to be talking about what's been going on and what can kind of jump up sometimes and show its head as adversity when maybe it's something else. So everyone, you're listening to Inspired Choices. I'm your host, Christine McIver, here on the Inspired Choices Network. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Many of us make choices based on our past experiences or based on what others believe. What would our lives be like if we made our choices based on what we desire for our futures? When you join the Inspired Choices show with business optimization expert Christine McIver, you'll be provoked to look at what is true and what you know, but may not choose, that requires your attention. Christine does not hold back. She brings all her expertise to every show. Are you ready to create and live the life you truly desire? Listen for Inspired Choices every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email become a host at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is the Inspired Choices Show with business optimization expert Christine McIver. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to Christine at inspiredchoices.ca. Now, back to the program.
Welcome back, everyone. You are listening to Inspired Choices. I'm your host, Christine McIver, and tonight we're talking about running from adversity or allowing it to empower you. So in our first segment, we were talking about adversity and how sometimes what we do is we actually go at it pretty hard. We get pretty intense with it. We get it even more solidified. So when we get super intense with adversity, difficult times, we oftentimes get determined and we do this push or we do this anger. I actually said that I'm a swear like a sailor on whiskey person. That's what I do initially. That's my initial reaction. And it's if you know human design, for me, speaking out loud is what I need to do. It actually is one of the ways for me to shift it out of me. And so that's what I do initially, but I don't stay in that very long because I've learned that what that does is it just creates more things, more difficulties. And what that happens to do is that what it happens to do is it impacts your body. When you stay in this intense push energy, when you're in difficult times, and so the determination coupled with the push energy, you start to really solidify that energy. You intensify it, then it starts to solidify both in your mind and in your body, not to mention that whatever you're having adversity with, whether it's another person or it's your business or whatever it is, that actually mirrors back to you. It doesn't matter whether the energy that you are having adversity with is another human, or it's your business, or maybe it's your books, maybe it's your money, whatever it is, that will start to mirror back, because what you are doing is you are saying, this is where I want to be. This is where I want to be. This is what's important to me, and this is where it wants to be. And no, it's not important to any of us that we have adverse moments, right? If you were to be able to choose, you'd be like, yeah, no, thanks. I'll skip. You know what? When I go down to the planet Earth this time, I'm going to skip adversity. I'm just going to have total ease, joy, and glory. I'm going to skip the adversity. That's not how it works, my friends. Adversity presents itself. But the really cool thing is that every single time adversity presents itself, you have choice. You have choice at what you're going to do. But between the adversity occurring and you making a choice that brings ease, that gap, that space in between is where you grow. And I know, who the hell cares about growing, right? I mean, when we're in the adversity, all we want to do is get out of it. Yeah, me too. And there's an opportunity here for you. Now, whether you believe that there's an opportunity or not, the fact of the matter is you wouldn't be listening to this if you didn't resonate with the fact that adversity is challenging for you at times, and it's something that you want to get out of. So I really want you to, first of all, I want you to look at that. What is my autoresponder when I'm in adversity? And maybe it's different when you're working with people. Maybe it's different when you're working with your family. Maybe it's different when you have expectations of yourself and they're not going well. Maybe it's different when you are working with clients. Whatever that is in each of those areas, look at your response. That's going to give you a great deal of information about what's in the neural pathways in your mind that you continue to allow to play out again and again. So if you could just make a note of those different areas and ask yourself, and just make a note of what actually occurs for you in those different areas when you are in adversity. I used to have a really, really bad temper. And when things wouldn't go well, I would really lose my cool a lot. And I would lose my cool at other people. Now, what was underneath that was a fear. And it was a fear that I couldn't control something because of, different things that occurred in my younger life. I felt that I needed to control. And so as I started to grow and I started to do personal development, I started to learn that about myself and began to really look at what it was that I was afraid of and whether it was really true that I actually needed to even control something. And looking at what it was that I was doing for myself or trying to do to someone else in a lot of cases. And so there was the opportunity for me to learn a lot more about myself and to grow. Well, I don't think that we ever don't have adversity in our lives. I don't think that there's ever a point in our life where there's not going to be difficulties. Now, those difficulties, though, they really, how long they last, how intense they get, that's really in your wheelhouse of control. And it really does make a massive difference on the way that you respond to adversity. I oftentimes would think about when I had my children, and I'll never forget the one time that my niece was babysitting and something had happened. I think she broke some glass or something like that had happened. And she was really scared. She was really upset because she knew I had a temper. And she said, "I'm so sorry, Aunt Christine, I broke this, blah, blah, blah." And I said, "Are you safe?" And she's like, "Yeah." "Are the kids safe?" "Yeah." And I go, "Then that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter." So what are you able to put into perspective? Okay. I know today with one of our hosts, we had some technology problems and it was challenging, and she did brilliant. She did brilliant. I know it was difficult. I know it was frustrating as can be, but she did move through it and created a fabulous show. So it's your response oftentimes to the adversity that really is the first step in deciding how you're going to actually use adversity in your life to grow. It really is. So if you can start to look at adversity as not something that's stopping you, but like ask yourself this question, okay, what can I learn from this? And sometimes when you're deeply in it, it's like bugger off. I don't care to learn anything right now. But if you want to, when you've calmed down from that, when you've taken some space from that, and if you really want to be able to empower yourself with more tools, you want to empower yourself with the ability to move through adversity and gain more stride in your day so that you can actually rise above and really have it be like a stepping stone for you to step up on and have you bring you farther and closer into the things that you desire. Step back from it. Take some time and ask yourself the question, okay, what is here for me to learn about? What is going on in this very moment about this difficulty that I can learn about? You don't need to get an answer in your head. Please, please, please remember this. This is so, so important. Asking a question does not require you to get an answer in the moment. When you're asking a question like this, you're putting the question out to your higher self, you're putting the question out to your business, you're putting the question out to the universe, to the divine, and be willing in that, not demanding an answer, be willing to receive what it is that wants to contribute back to you. So are you willing to do that? Are you willing to really grow within yourself so that you can create more of a life of ease? Because you know what? A life with no difficulties, you're not going to grow. I remember my brother Dan used to say all the time, you don't grow in the easy days. Well, Dan, I was growing today, right? So you don't grow in the easy days. You grow in the difficult days. Sorry. Whew. Didn't expect that to come up. Just 1 second. Whew. See, you just never know what's going to happen. Live radio brings it to the table. So my brother Dan passed away in December, so it's still a little raw. And it's okay. It's okay. I don't have a problem having emotions come up. You know, I've learned a long time ago that tears are like laughter. It's just an emotion desiring to be expressed. And it's all right for that emotion to be expressed. So what if it's okay? What if you started to look at adversity as being something that's okay to come forward to really help you to grow in your world? What if adversity taught you to learn how to empower yourself? What if you learning that this adversity does not have to take me down and I can actually use this to my advantage? What if that changed your world and made your world easier? Would you be willing to just shift your perspective on it? You know, everything that occurs in your life is all about perspective. It's all about perspective. People respond based on their perspective, and their perspective is developed based on their past experiences. But when you become an adult, and when you get to the stage in your life where you think, you know what, I'm going to create my life. I'm not going to be at the effect of things around me anymore. You can then choose to very carefully go, hold on a second, what's a different perspective I can take here? So you could look at something and get really angry and just like completely complain. There's a lot of that going on in the world today, isn't there? People just see something and they have a reaction, not a response. They have an automatic reaction. They have decided that something is, one way, and they're not going to enlighten themselves, educate themselves, gather the data and really gather the facts and step back from it and take time to evaluate it. Each and every one of us should be really operating like a scientist operates, right? They gather the information and they put it through a lot of different processes so that they can learn about it. What if you were doing that with the adversity in your life? What if you were willing to create a new perspective on what's going on, and you were really willing to acknowledge that something doesn't come to you that you cannot handle? Most people feel like when something really difficult comes their way, that they're not going to be able to handle it. Well, I don't know anyone, honestly, that has not been able to handle some of the most difficult things in the world that I could never have imagined. There's a lot of things that have occurred in my life, in my personal life, in my business life, in my romantic life, in my parenting life, that if you'd have told me years ago that this is what's going to happen, honest to God, I know I would have said to you, I will not be able to handle that. That will be too much. Look back on your life. How many times Have you thought the exact same thing? If I'd have known this was going to happen, I don't think I would have been able to handle it, right? These things come to you and me so that we can handle, but not only handle it, but surprise ourselves that we are stronger than we know. And if we would start to really appreciate and have gratitude for who we are and know that we have got more within us than we've ever been willing to look at, we would really start to grow personally and move through the adversity in a way that would surprise even the biggest skeptics in the world. So let's take it off of autopilot in our reactions, and let's start to put some space in between the adversity rather, and start to really ask some bigger questions that will contribute to us. Okay, we are up for our next break of the show. You are listening to Christine McIver on the Inspired Choices show here on the Inspired Choices Network. Tonight, we're talking about running from adversity or allowing it to empower you. If you have any questions that you would like to ask, please come and join us in the chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com/chat room. I would love to answer your questions, and I'd love to have you here contributing as well. So stick around, everyone. We'll be right back after this break.
Many of us make choices based on our past experiences or based on what others believe. What would our lives be like if we made our choices based on what we desire for our futures? When you join the Inspired Choices show with business optimization expert Christine McIver, you'll be provoked to look at what is true and what you know, but may not choose, that requires your attention. Christine does not hold back. She brings all her expertise to every show. Are you ready to create and live the life you truly desire? Listen for Inspired Choices every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
How wonderful would it be to carry your favorite Inspired Choices Network host with you throughout your day? Well, now you can. Inspired Choices Network now has its very own mobile app. Our free app offers live streaming shows, along with thousands of podcasts and TV episodes. Our shows cover a wide variety of topics. Whether you're waking up with us, carrying us through the day, and taking us to bed with you, we're always here for you to enjoy. We're easy to find. Just search for Inspired Choices Network in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store.
This is the Inspired Choices Show with business optimization expert Christine McIver. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to Christine at InspiredChoices.ca. Now, back to the program.
Welcome back, my friends. Thank you so much for being here tonight. You know, life throws a lot of curveballs at us, doesn't it? And learning how to really sustain our energy, sustain our peace of mind, and not only just sustain, but actually grow from it is what I really love talking about. And how can we do that? First of all, I want you to acknowledge that you're not alone. You're not alone in what is happening in your world. There is likely someone out there that has been through where you are. And even if they haven't been through exactly what, that they can have empathy for you and that they can support you. This is one of the best reasons when you have a coach, someone that's there to listen without judgment, someone that's there to support you and to help to guide you. You know, when we are up close and personal with our challenges and with the adversity in our life, we miss a lot of the opportunities or a lot of the possibilities of what we can do to change it. So right away, know you're not alone. Know that there is help out here, and it doesn't make you weak to ask for help. It doesn't make you weak to get angry. It doesn't make you weak to sit down and cry. It doesn't, none of that says anything about you except that you have an emotion and an experience that you are going through. Now, whether you're going to go through and it's going to grow you, or whether you're going to go through and it's going to pull you down, that's up to you. Every single solitary thing that is being created in your life, you have choice with it. You are not at the effect of anything going on in your life. And I can tell you, there has been many clients that I have worked with that it felt like they did not have choice, that something was happening to them. Some people may get upset with me saying this, but nothing happens to you. Absolutely nothing happens to you. You chose to come into this life. You chose the path that you are on, and experiences that are happening within your life are not happening to you. They are part of your experience, and they're part of the experience that is going to assist you to grow. Now, if you believe that that's not true, then the result is going to be that you definitely are going to be at the effect of this. So what do you want to choose? Because your perspective, again, your perspective on, is this happening to me, or is this something that is part of my life to help me grow? Whichever choice you make there, that is going to determine the movement that you're going to be able to make through this. When you are not pushing at something that's adverse, when you're not pushing at it, but you're determined that you're going to grow yourself so that you can move through it, that's where the change starts to happen. And that's the moment that you start to choose. So what do you desire to choose? Do you desire to look at the challenge in your life and go, okay, I have choice here. I have choice. I can either be angry that this is happening and I can just like walk away and say, screw it, I'm done. I can like have a fit and act like a 3-year-old that doesn't have understanding and intelligence and education, or I can act like an adult and step back and look at it from different perspectives, ask myself some questions around what is here for me to grow. How can I grow through this? It's not, how can I survive this? No, I know lots of people talk about being a survivor. To me, the energy of survivor is this is my perspective. The energy of survivor often has the energy of victim connected to it. I'm not a survivor. I'm a determined individual who's choosing to grow. I didn't survive something as if I was just hanging on by my knuckles. Now, if you're being attacked by a lion and you come out of it alive, you did survive it, but I'm sure you made a lot of choices to move through that, okay? There is a big difference between being in a catastrophic situation where you survived it and you became stronger, or you survived it and you're a victim. And it's easy for us to go down in being a victim. It's very, very easy for us to be in that energy, because there's so much of that energy in the world. Do not fool yourself that if you find yourself in that victim energy, you're picking it up like you would pick up a cold. It's out there. The energy of it is out there everywhere. That victim energy is very easy to slip into. But when you are in the victim energy, you're not only acting as though you are incapable, but you're also manipulating, because you're telling other people that you can't do it without their help. There is a difference between raising your hand and asking for support and saying, I can't do it. I can't do it by myself. And you're being a victim. You're not a victim, my friends. You're an intelligent human being who has choice. And the fact that you are listening to this show is telling me, and it should be telling you, that you're able to make another choice and you are able to change whatever is happening for you in your world. Do you believe that? Is that something that you're willing to say, you know what? Yeah, I'm ready to change this. I'm ready to look at something from a different perspective and let it empower me. When you are someone in your life who has had a lot of adversity, okay, lots of different challenges have come in your life. And you know what? When you get into your midlife, you've probably had lots of different challenges that you can point to, right? if you would take some time, and not from a digging up old problems perspective, but really looking at the steps that you took on your path. If you would look at that, you would take some time and really look at the things that you have had to step through and list those things out. List them out. And list them out like you would from a place of gratitude. Not gratitude that they happened, gratitude that you made a choice to move through them. That's when you look at that list and you say, you know what? These things that I have stepped through, they have been empowering me. But because I'm a smarter person today than I ever was. I am a more adverse person today than I ever was. I take care of myself more today than I ever have. Because we know that if we're going to move through things, we have to take care of us, don't we? And that's how we empower ourselves. We take care of ourselves. We acknowledge the brilliance that we have been, the strength that we have been, and look at those things and go, oh my God, look at everything that I have stepped through. Look at all of these things that I didn't allow stop me. These things are now in the position for you to choose to let them empower you. When you are facing a difficulty, take a minute, take a beat, and acknowledge the things that you have stepped through. Acknowledge the strength and the conviction and the creativity and the maybe a lot of the extra things that you did to move through those steps. Acknowledge that. Put that on a huge list of gratitude. And then look yourself in the mirror and say, you know what? You are amazing. Everything that you have gone through, everything that you have stepped through, every single solitary thing that you have accomplished on days when you thought you couldn't, on days when you thought you were going to crash and burn, you didn't. You're still here. And look at what you have come through. Empower yourself, my friends. Empower yourself by really being grateful for all of the things that you have come through. You are amazing. You have accomplished more than probably most people that you know. And you know why I know that? Because you're here wanting to learn more. People that are not interested in growing, but interested in staying a victim would never listen to this show. They would never join. But the people that are saying, you know what? Yes, I'm willing to grow. I'm willing to be more. I'm willing to do whatever it takes to become the better person that I desire to be. They're here. They're here. So congratulations. You've just proven right by being here that you have the strength to face the truth. And you have the strength to make another choice. What do you desire? When you have adversity happening, like today with the things that I was dealing with, I had to keep my eye on the prize. I had to keep my eye on the prize. What do I desire? While this is all going on, while all of this chaos is going on, what do I desire? Keeping your eye on the prize strengthens you as well. Don't buy the lie that you won't be able to make it. Maybe it's going to be in a different direction. Maybe it's going to be in a different timeline. But don't buy the lie that you cannot accomplish something. Because if your mind can think it and your heart can wish it, it's available to you. The rest is up to you and your choices and the way that you are going to respond and the choices that you are going to make to take care of you as you move through the next stage of the diversity or of the adversity rather. Now, it could be a very small thing. It could be a one-day thing, or it could be years of something. You know, I have someone very close to me who has been going through something for 6.5 years now. And it has been incredibly difficult, an incredible uphill battle. And when we look at what has gone on and when we look at everything that has happened, yes, it's been very difficult and there's been a lot of challenges. But I know that before this happened, this individual could never have imagined that they would be able to get through and beyond something as difficult as they've been dealing with. And yet they have been. And how do we do that? By putting our feet on the floor every day and making a choice to step up one more time. One more time. All that matters is right here and right now. And the way that you view something and the way that you respond to it in the choices that you make is what is going to create the life that you desire. Don't allow yourself to be at the effect of all of these challenges, and understand that you are growing in every moment. And when you look at it in this way, you're going to put your shoulders back a little farther. You're going to lift your head a little higher, and you're going to have it deep in the cells of your body, the knowing that you can get through anything, even if you don't know how in this very moment, but you can. The universe always has your back. Always. Do you have your back? No matter what happens, do you have your back? When you have those dreams right in front of you that you desire so much, do you have your back? Have you ever spoken to yourself and said, you know what, no matter what, I'm here. I am doing this. I am making this happen. I don't know how. I don't know how it's going to happen, but I know it is because I desire it. When you know that the universe has your back and you have your back, that's where you step into empowerment. No matter what happens, you're going to have tough days. You're likely going to pound some pillows. You're likely going to scream. You're likely going to cry. You're likely going to want to run away. That's okay. Go take a bath. Go for a walk. Talk to a friend. Cry. Do whatever it is that you need to do, but continue to have your back and try again. That's where the difference between a victim and somebody who's empowered, that's where you see the difference show up right there. All right, my friends, we are up to our last break of the show. When we get back, we're going to talk about what's coming up next week. I'm going to share with you about my special if you weren't here in the beginning, and we'll just close out the shows. Thank you so much for being here tonight. So you're listening to Christine McIver on the Inspired Choices show here on the Inspired Choices Network. We'll be right back.
Many of us make choices based on our past experiences or based on what others believe. What would our lives be like if we made our choices based on what we desire for our futures? When you join the Inspired Choices show with business optimization expert Christine McIver, you'll be provoked to look at what is true and what you know, but may not choose, that requires your attention. Christine does not hold back. She brings all her expertise to every show. Are you ready to create and live the life you truly desire? Listen for Inspired Choices every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email becomeahost@inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is the Inspired Choices Show with business optimization expert Christine McIver. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to Christine@inspiredchoices.ca. Now, back to the program.
Yes, back to the program. Tonight, you are listening to Christine McIver, and we're talking about running from adversity or allowing it to empower you. Yeah, sometimes I don't even think we can run from adversity. We maybe duck and hide for a while, but it usually will show back up until we actually move through it, right? We've been talking all about what's important and the choices that you actually have. And I really do hope that this has been contributing to you. Know that you are not alone ever, ever, ever in the challenges in life. There are so many people, though, that their desire is to contribute to you when you are in that space. Be willing to put your hand up. And here's a big one, be willing to receive. Most people say that they're willing to put their hand up, but when it actually comes to fully receiving, we usually suck at it pretty badly. And so you've got to be willing to receive and just drop all the judgments about yourself and what you're feeling about yourself, the emotions, the responses. When you put your hand up, know that somebody's going to be there to support you and they're not going to be judging you. At least not anybody I know that helps other people. And that's something that I do. I work with individuals one-on-one. I do personal coaching and I do business coaching. And one of the business packages that I have that is on special right now because it's my birthday special. This is my birthday month. July is my birthday month. And so the special that I have, it's a business it's a business strategic package, and I work one-on-one with you for at least 7 weeks where we go through all sorts of things that's not working in your business, things that you desire to have working, and really lay out a plan so you can have so much more ease with being visible on social media, creating content, how to create the content, really laying out a map, looking at your pricing, looking at your organization, looking at every aspect of your business so that we can create it more with pleasure. So it is usually the regular price is $2,200. And for the month of July, it's on for $1,700. So it's a savings of $500. Plus, the first time we connect is really talk about what's going on in your business. That is a bonus gift to you. And that's a $500 value. So that's not something that you will have to pay for. We're going to talk about what's happening and we're going to start to create the plan right from that very first session. So if that's something that you are curious about, let's connect. Send me an email, Christine@inspiredchoices.ca. Know that you are always in the driver's seat around whether you would like to move forward or not. I'm not one of these people that hounds you at all. That's not my gig. If you don't want to work with me, then you know what? I probably don't really want you to work with me either. I love to work with people that are ready to step up and change things. And it is absolutely something that I love, love, love to do. And I have lots of success stories with clients that I could share with you as well. So coming up next week, our show is, are you comfortable in your business chaos? Hello. How many people out there feel like they are in chaos right now in their business, or they feel like they've never not been in business chaos? And how many of you would love to move out of that? That's what we're going to be talking about next week. There are so many shows that you can connect with. There's I think I have over 400 episodes here in my podcast page here on the network. You can connect with any of my shows on your favorite podcast platform. Just search Inspired Choices with Christine McIver, or you can download our app, the Inspired Choices Network app. You can download that from Apple or Android, and you can get you can listen to all of the episodes on demand. You can even watch the TV episodes if you choose. So my friends, you definitely want to reach out, listen to some of these episodes. It's like having a university at your hands. Really, we've got so much content, both with my shows and with so many of the other hosts there. It's just amazing. It's like a free university right in your fingertips. You can grow yourself, you can grow your business, you can learn about dealing with animals and children and all sorts of different things. So I would love for you to really take advantage of this and share this with someone that you know. And wherever you're downloading, we would love to have a lovely review, because that helps us to be seen and heard by more people out there looking for the support. So my friends, until next week, I want you to remember, you can always make another choice. The choice is in your hands. Don't allow the adversity to stop you. Allow it to be something that you can step up upon.
Thank you for choosing to listen to Inspired Choices Show. Christine McIver will return next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. We hope you'll join us. Until then, be willing to choose what you really desire. This is your life, making the choices that bring you all that you desire.